Welcome to the Thursday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday morning. It is Friday Junior. It is indeed Friday Junior. Okay, let me make sure we got everything going here. Analysis, please. How's it going? Hey, Fifth Dimension. Hey, Dakapollyon. How's it going? Morning. Did you change your stream key? Well, Twitch did it for me. But I don't use the Twitch stream key to stream. But yes, it did update by itself. Where did Thursday go? It's right here. It's right here. It hasn't gone anywhere. Look, even the clock says it. However, it is Friday Junior, aka Thursday. Just one more day to the weekend, folks. I got my coffee, so I am A-okay and ready to go. We do have a few headlines to go through, but first... some quick announcements. Towards the end of December 20th, 21, and 22, I believe. And maybe that weekend, there will be no stream, so I'll keep mentioning it as it gets closer to that date. But December 20th, 21, and 22, I believe there won't be any streams, as I will be in Tennessee for a very, 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 very close friend of mine's wedding. Kind of like a small, intimate event, as, obviously, gotta take precautions and stuff. Yeah. Howdy. Yeah, and Thanksgiving also will be a thing, but Thanksgiving is only like a day, and it's towards the evening, so I don't think that's gonna affect it. I'll be, obviously, just the immediate family, having a small dinner this Thanksgiving. It's only one day and it's only dinner, so it shouldn't be really that big of a deal when it comes to affecting the stream. But I'm actually going to be traveling Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that's the 20, 21, and 22. So just keep that in mind, and I'll keep mentioning it as it gets closer to that date. But it has been confirmed as of right now. Are you going to be back for Christmas? Oh, by Christmas. Oh yeah, 100%. Your Thanksgiving is bigger than Christmas? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which holiday is bigger. But I will be here for Christmas. A difficult holiday is always a thing. Either Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's. We always do a special session. I don't particularly celebrate either holiday. That's cool. The most important part is that you get days off. And at least what we do in our family, at least it's also an excuse to have really good food. Thanksgiving mac and cheese. Thanksgiving mac and cheese. That's the stuff. I'm sorry to hear that. My family stopped gathering a couple of years when we lost Grandma. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any grandparents either. Like, not a one. I think most I lost most of my grandparents very early on, and the one that was like most recent was the only grandfather that was still around for my dad's side. She was the only reason I celebrated Christmas at all. Sorry to hear that. Completely understandable now. Dakapolia, now I get it. I like turkey. I think my favorite part of dinner, at least, is the mac and cheese. All right, folks, we do have a couple of headlines to go through. The first one is kind of a meme article. Thank you, Mono. Thank you, Mono, for posting this on the Discord. Navy Facebook account hacked to stream Age of Empires. This one's kind of funny. Someone has taken control of a powerful warship's Facebook account and is using it to stream a 20-year-old strategy game. I mean, nice. Although I would have played Empire Earth, but, you know. The US Navy has lost control of the official page for its destroyer-class warship USS Kidd. Someone has hacked the page and for the past 2 days has done nothing but stream Age of Empires. The first stream went on for 4 hours. As first reported by Task and Purpose, the USS Kidd lost control of its Facebook account at 10:26 p.m. on October 3rd. The destroyer-class warship then streamed Age of Empires for 4 hours under the headline, haha. Okay. It's since streamed Age of Empires 5 more times, each time for at least an hour. Whoever is playing sucks because they never make it past the Stone Age. Well, I think they were just doing it for the memes. I think they were just doing it for the memes. I know this is off topic, but they finally announced a successful vaccine for malaria yesterday. Interesting. We'll check it out. Do they have a video? Oh yeah, they do. Oh man. This really does remind me of Empire Earth. This really does remind me of Empire Earth. Which, I mean, should be no... Should be no coincidence, as they are made by the same people, but I think Empire Earth is superior to Age of Empires. Hey Spread It Forward, how's it going? No, you haven't played Empire Earth. Tell me you haven't played Empire Earth without telling me you haven't played Empire Earth. Wait, what is going on? Oh, okay, so just to be clear, the headline is someone apparently got access or hacked the U.S. Navy ship's USS Kidd's Facebook and started streaming Age of Empires on it. The Navy did not immediately respond to Motherboard's request for comment, but Navy spokesperson Commander Nicole Schwegman told Task and Purpose that it had been hacked. The official Facebook page for USS Kidd DDG-100 was hacked. We are currently working with Facebook technical support to resolve the issue. As of writing, the 6 videos are still up and watchable. Each of the videos was posted with a little fun phrase like, "Hi guys, play game," and F's, I guess. There's only a few comments, mostly from confused family members of sailors. Checkmate for why Age of Empires is better. Was my input of the Earthshot prize yesterday helpful? It's interesting, I'll say that. Why didn't they hack to play Empire Earth? Ooh. Well, now we're locked into a conundrum here. Because they don't know better. They don't know. They don't know the secret sauce, folks. That even though Empire Earth is made by the same people of Age of Empires, it is indeed a superior game, and I stand by that statement. I have no problems defending that statement or dying on that hill. Why did AO2 get a remaster twice? Because they don't know what they're doing. Fake news, they don't know what they're doing. Anything that contradicts my worldview when it comes to Empire Earth will immediately be chalked to fake news, or it's a hoax, or there's some deep conspiracy within the Age of Empires community to keep Empire Earth down, and rallies don't determine elections, so viewers don't determine the and viewers don't determine the validity of the game. This is peak leftist discourse over here. Okay? Which 20 plus year old game is better? To be fair, I think that to be fair, the Age of Empires franchise did give real-time strategy games a a home, especially with like Age of Empires, StarCraft, and there's another one. There's another one that's pretty big. This isn't the first time the American military has lost control of an official social media account. In 2024, Bragg's Twitter account tweeted a horny reply to an OnlyFans model. The Army claimed the account had been hacked, but a subsequent investigation revealed the civilian with access The Fort Bragg's Twitter handle messed up and forgot to log back into his personal account. Oh man, okay, so there's a lesson here, and there's an underlying lesson here. A, why would you ever put your personal I don't know, environment, personal laptop, personal phone, personal profile, personal anything, anywhere near your job. Anywhere near your job. So one of these days I'm gonna get like an overhead camera or something to show you how I have my environment separated. This side has the stream setup, the stream computer, and it is completely separate. It has nothing to do with work. There's literally nothing on this computer that has anything to do with even remotely the idea of work. And here is the work laptop on this side that has absolutely nothing to do with anything personal. There's no personal emails logged in here. There's no social media that would be logged in here. There's no nothing that is even remotely potentially personal is in this computer over here. Why is this the first time I'm hearing about Empire Earth? Oh, Dacapolion, Empire Earth. Okay, so allow me to boomer out for a second. Empire Earth is a real-time strategy game that's been hold on. I'm about to yeet this anti-Empire Earth discourse, okay? This right here is a pro Empire Earth space, okay? There would be no dissent under this authoritarian Empire Earth regime, okay? That's just how things go here. Okay, so just really quickly, the Empire Earth real-time strategy game was an old strategy game about 20-something years old that was made by the same folks who made Age of Empires. It never really caught that much popularity. However, there's still a very small, close kind of community that still plays it. Ever so often, they have even like small tournaments within the community. It's very small because, well, nobody knows about it, to be quite honest. And I had originally set out, by the way, okay, so here's some here's some personal lore that has tangential ties to a difficult truth lore. So if you guys know, as you guys have known, there is another channel that I have where I started where I started streaming on Twitch. ADT is not the first channel I used to start on Twitch. I have a channel, it's still active, called Grunt726, or is it 0726? One of those two. In fact, I can probably check it out in a second. Where my goal was to bring more awareness to Empire Earth, and I wanted to make a channel to play this real-time strategy game. Yes, it's Grunt726. Let's see. Where I used to play Empire Earth, right? And other real-time strategy games. I wanted to see if I could kind of like grow the Empire Earth kind of following, community, whatever you want to call it, and I stopped streaming on it to focus on a difficult truth. However, one of these days I'll bring it back. I looked it up and they're not made by the same people. Ensemble Studios made superior games. Oh, wait. I thought they were made by the same people. Oof, yikes. Is that me? Did I just get hit with a fake news? I could have sworn they were. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. Fake. Okay, let me clarify. So, okay, so it was a guy who designed Empire Earth and Empire's Dawn of Modern World, based on the wiki and what you sent me, was one of the lead designers of Age of Empires. Okay, so that's the connection. That's the connection. Gotcha. Oh wait, hold on. That Kapolion brought up a great point. So I can just chalk this off as not a reliable source because you just linked me a wiki Andy over here trying to disprove my wiki Andy over here trying to disprove my claims over here. All right. No. It's legit. So yeah, it's a meme. Okay. As if they have some better sources. The sources are at the bottom. Like, I don't understand why people like do they're so like obsessed over like, oh, you linked me a wiki? Well, dude, just check the sources at the bottom and verify them yourself. There's like the reason why these things get posted is because if you scroll down, you'll see all the sources. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me bring this up. So you can see all the sources here. So yeah, like I don't know, people hit a lot of people hit hard against wiki articles, but the reality is like unless the wiki article, which it does have disclosures, if you read the wiki article, it does have disclosures where it says, oh, we don't have sources for this, or the sources here may be may need more verification. So then you can kind of do a deeper dive if you need to, but just look at the sources. If you have a problem with the wiki article, just go down and look at all the links that they provide as sources, and you can verify that for yourself. So like, I don't know, it's not a big deal. Yeah, no, that is a legit argument. I've seen that time and time again. Like, you sent me a wiki? Well, dude, the wiki is backed by resources at the bottom. You can check that. It's okay. But either way, so I was mistaken. The connection between Empire Earth and Age of Empires was that one of the designers helped with both. That was it. That was the connection. Don't you know I can change the wiki right now? Yeah, and it'll say sources needed. Yeah. So just to be clear, Empire Earth 2 and Empire Earth 3 and Empire Earth Mobile never existed. Okay? These here, you can just kind of like memory hold them. They never existed. Okay? These right here, it just didn't exist. This right here, nope. Never happened. Never happened. The only Empire Earth game I recognize is the original Empire Earth. That's it. Same with AO4, I don't even look at it. The new one looks nice though. Yeah, I might play Age of Empires. I haven't played an Age of Empires game since a very, very long time. And I feel like one of these days I'm going to fire up the Grunt726 account. And I'm going to start doing that as a part of like a video game alt session. And for those folks who are interested in more video gaming type content can check it out. And yeah, I'll post it on Discord and stuff like that. I might bring it up. I might bring it back to life because like I'm missing the real-time strategy games that I used to play. For now, the USSS Kid is just posting wholesome footage of a 20-year-old RTS. I mean, it's kind of funny. That's pretty funny. Amusing, I would say. Yeah, I have StarCraft 2. I have StarCraft 2. I used to have the original StarCraft. In fact, somewhere in the ADT vaults, somewhere, there is a CD with the original StarCraft. And the original CD with StarCraft, and I believe some type of expansion for StarCraft 2, the original one. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in the vaults. The Brood War, probably, yeah. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. Lost him with so many moves as a kid. Yeah, so I know that somewhere... It might still be. I didn't move as much as a kid. I think we moved 3 times. But yeah, my parents weren't big on like giving me video games or anything like that. They gave me the classics, and I had to either borrow from friends and or wait once a year. But yes, I did have that somewhere. Draco Forever, how's it going? Howdy, howdy. My very first game was Pong. Nice. Nice. Now that's an uber classic. That's an uber classic. My first legitimate video game was the Brick, the handheld Nintendo Game Boy, or yeah, the original Nintendo Game Boy. The gray brick as we know it, with Super Mario something. There was a Super Mario version for the Nintendo Brick, the Game Boy Brick, and it came with a Super Mario version for it. I forget what it was called, but that was my first original game for any console in any way, shape, or form. And that was back in 90-something, which I can't remember exactly, but it was something to do, it was somewhere around like the 90s, middle to later 90s. Hey, Silver Knight Dragon. I could be wrong, but isn't this article plot of the 80s movie War Games? Oh, that's another, oh, okay, now you, what was the plot of War Games? In this case, Silver Knight Dragon, the TLDR is just like some person decided to hack the personal account, Facebook account of this USS Kid, and they just started playing Age of Empires on it. Because you can stream on Facebook pages, so they just decided to stream Age of Empires. Oh, the kid hacked into NORAD to play games? Huh. I mean, it's kind of similar, except this one wasn't a government computer. It was a government Facebook page, I guess, which is like separate from any type of government, technology. It ended up it ended up causing the computer to start a nuclear war. Oh, okay. I remember this now. Hey, Pat Rat, how's it going? Yeah, in this case, it's just a Facebook page that is not connected or linked to a actual government computer in any way, shape, or form. It's going well, thanks for asking. Awesome. You thought about it, mutually ensured destruction, and that not every game can be won, so F it, I guess, right? Thank God we haven't linked Facebook to nuclear codes yet. True. Anyways, this is mildly amusing. Imagine, like, just, I don't know. It seems kind of weird that they have these warships have their own Facebook pages. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Maybe to be more transparent to the public? I don't know, it just seems a little weird. But amusing to see that they just started streaming Age of Empires. I could have seen Trump linking it to his Twitter through executive action. Drew. Facebook wants to be its own country. True. It's like a city having a Facebook page. True. So does Amazon. Well, Amazon, I think, wants to be its own city. Amazon wants to have, they want to return to the good old days of company cities, which, if you know anything about what historically happened, cringe, to summarize. I mean, Facebook has enough money to be its own country, right? That's right. Yep. I'm not going back to company currency. Yeah, I would never accept the proposal to even entertain the idea of a private company city. Like, for all the libertarians out there, or the Ancapistan folks, they should really look up what happened with company towns back in the day. Yeah. To see what, to just have a little glimpse of what that ideology brings about. Just Google that. Or research that one. Blair Mountain, yes. That's right. In a good turn of events, so we'll throw in some good news, right? Some good news. The U.S. judge blocks enforcement of near-total abortion ban in Texas. A federal judge temporarily blocked on Wednesday a near-total ban on the abortion in Texas, the toughest such law in the United States, following a challenge from President Joe Biden's administration after U.S. Supreme Court let it proceed, which is bizarre. The action by U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman in Austin prevents the state from enforcing the Republican-backed law which prohibits women from obtaining an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy, while litigation over its legality continues. The case is part of a fierce legal battle over abortion access in the United States, with numerous states pursuing restrictions. This court will not sanction one more day of this offensive deprivation of such an important right, Pittman said during the ruling. Nice. Jesus. Imagine this being an ad. Imagine the imagery that this ad conveys. The ink was barely dry on Bittman's order before Texas notified the court it intends to appeal the ruling to the conservative-leaning Fifth Court of Appeals, setting the stage for the next phase of the legal battle. Tonight's ruling is an important step forward towards restoring the constitutional rights of women across the state of Texas. The White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement late Wednesday, "The fight has only just begun both in Texas and many states across this country where women's rights are currently under attack." True. Biden's Justice Department sued Texas on September 9th and sought a temporary injunction against the law, arguing during an October 1st hearing that the measure violates the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Supreme Court on September 1 let the law take effect in a 5-4 vote powered by conservative justices. At 6 weeks of pregnancy, many women do not know they're pregnant. The law makes no exceptions for pregnancy caused by rape or incest. So, like, again, just let that sink in, man. Oh, that's so effed. And here's the cherry on top. It also lets ordinary citizens enforce the ban, rewarding them at least $10,000 if they successfully sue anyone who helped provide an abortion after fetal cardiac activity is detected. Yeah, don't let them use the. I like this framing. Don't let them use the term fetal heartbeat, okay? Because it's not a heartbeat. It's cardiac activity. It's not like there's no heartbeat. Okay. If it was an employee-owned company, it wouldn't be bad. It's like communism put the wrong authoritarian dictator in place, and it's hell for the working class with the proper representative or democratic government for the people. Communism is amazing, a bit utopian and unrealistic. Well, the thing is, like, you can democratize, right, can't be a heartbeat with no heart. You can have more democratic systems in place. I mean, like, you can have, for example, a program to incentivize, for example, worker co-ops that are trying to get off the ground. You can incentivize for the companies that are already like established or huge, like Amazon or Walmart. You can incentivize unionization across the board for those big companies, and anyone who wants to start a worker co-op should be incentivized or prioritized, to do pilot programs to see, that's not really that out of the realm of possibilities. I don't think that that's a radical or too like egregious policy proposal. Did the law, especially if you guys saw yesterday or the day before, the Majority Report had a guest on who was talking about postal banking that was coming back, or postal banking that's being proposed to come back, which that would be interesting if you had postal banking, right? Which is cool, awesome, based, and then through that you can incentivize lifting worker co-ops off the ground, because that requires capital at the beginning. So yeah, I mean, you could have that type of system where you can incentivize for X amount of years worker co-ops. Those who want to start it over the traditional business model should be able to. It's good that they finally put a pause on it. True. Texas claimed that we could prevent rape, but their measures guaranteed rapists could have babies. So, right, like, okay, yeah, so never let them tell you that this is some type of, like, oh yeah, well, we're just protecting pro-life and babies and whatever. No, it's not anything to do with that. It's all about controlling women. That's it. I wish every company was required 50% of its control equally to all its employees. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's a thing that would happen, but you can make regulations or incentivizations of unionization across the board, right? Because that's something that can happen within right now. That's something that can happen. All of these like worker protections and stuff like that, especially the right to work states. I think that all of that can be kind of like changed to make sure that all of these large companies have unionization, and that will kind of tip the balance there, the imbalance, I should say. From the state that claims to have the most quote rights. Pro-life is anti-freedom. True. I think it's just anti-women. It is just anti-freedom. You're right, Silver Knight Dragon. We have a weird turnaround here in London. Amazon are opening a big retail store in a large shopping mall near me. What? That's kind of weird. When an owner wants X and 50% control of the employees wants Y, who is the tiebreaker? That is a great question. That's why I think that, like, wouldn't it be better if all of these, like, large corporations, like, let's say Amazon, was unionized, or at least overwhelmingly unionized, right? Let's say 70% of Amazon was unionized. Then we have leverage. Then the workers have leverage to make determinations of how their workplace is done, and they have at least bargaining power for their wages. And if there's a dispute, ideally the NLRB would step in should it have the resources it needs or the teeth that it needs to enforce the labor laws, right? I mean, that would make significant strides to move workers' rights forward. Amazon is trying to do that everywhere. There's self-service fulfillment centers. Ah, yes, abortion can be seen as healthcare, as conservatives can't give it in, John. True. The whole physical side of Amazon is to drive as much brick and mortar out of business as possible and then move in and take over. Wouldn't be surprised. That's what. Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. Serious business. I would agree with that assessment. Yeah, so pro-life folks makes no exception for pregnancies caused by rape or incest. It also lets ordinary citizens enforce the ban, rewarding them at least $10,000 if they successfully sue anybody who helped an abortion after fetal cardiac activity is detected. Critics of the law have said this provision enables people to act as anti-abortion bounty hunters, which is basically what they are. What they are, and there are people, especially the organization or the I guess movement behind this law. I think it was Texas Right to Life was the organization behind this legislation. They're already looking to cash in because that's the whole grift right there. That's the idea. That's the idea, right? They created this law, and then they're trying to capitalize on it. The Justice Department argued that the law impedes women from exercising a constitutional right to terminate a pregnancy that was recognized in the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision that legalized abortion nationwide. The department also argued that the law improperly interferes with the operations of the federal government to provide abortion-related services. U.S. Attorney General Garland lauded the ruling as a victory for women in Texas. Planned Parenthood said the preliminary injunction means lawsuits filed under the law cannot be accepted by Texas court. The relief granted by the court today is overdue, and we are grateful that the Department of Justice moved quickly to seek it. Whole Women's Health, which has 4 clinics in Texas, said it was making plans to resume abortion up to 18 weeks as soon as possible. Texas Greg Abbott, a Republican, has defended legality of the state's abortion law, with his office saying in a statement, "The most precious freedom is life itself." Wow. Brave. How brave. So I assume that we are now... So now, like, the most precious freedom, according to Governor Greg Abbott, is life itself. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, by that logic, I guess we're doing away with the death penalty I guess by that logic, the most precious freedom is life itself. Huh. So I guess healthcare is tied to this. I guess now Greg Abbott is going to institute tomorrow. I guess Greg Abbott is going to institute tomorrow a Texas universal healthcare system, as the most precious freedom is life itself. Yeah, it's a way of sanctioning religious vigilantes. Illinois proposed expanding their abortion protection. They proposed a 10K bounty on sexual predators causing unwanted pregnancies. Yeah, flip it on its head. Interesting. I think conservatives like to hold on to the anti-abortion law so that when you're born they can say, see, if we allowed your abortion, your mother could have gotten rid of you, which is why you should keep voting for us over here. Wait, no. Oh man, that's a wild stretch. But when you get older, they realize they keep anti-abortion, so I think they can get some possible homebred votes and not lose to foreigners and their ideas. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that sounds like, I don't know. I just feel like the abortion argument is just like, is rooted in this like religious zealotry that they need to control women, and that's it. That's literally what the name of the game is. It's just kind of like this religious fundamentalism coming to life, manifesting itself. Which is silly because the Bible is pro-abortion. Yeah, but don't tell them that. That's a little too inconvenient. Yeah, Texas is going Medicare for all, right? I mean, clearly Governor Abbott says in his statement, the most precious freedom is life itself. What could be more free? What could be more free than life itself? That means that the governor is going to now propose a universal healthcare system to make sure that Governor Abbott protects the most precious freedom, to make sure that people have access, have a universal healthcare system in Texas. Wow. Thank you, Governor Abbott. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your brave and totally genuine statement. Thank you. That's true. Spread it forward. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Spread it forward. Send that to me, Dacapolygon, through whispers, please. Oh, yes. Yes, or send it to a mod. Yep, that also works too. That will include people of color and minority communities. Yeah, well, it's Texas, so. Just to be clear, I'm memeing, okay? Governor Abbott doesn't believe in any of this. Bittman heard about 3 hours of arguments on the Justice Department's request. Justice Department Attorney Brian Netter called the law an unprecedented scheme of vigilante justice that must be struck down. True. Will Thompson, an attorney in the Texas An attorney in the Texas Attorney General's office countered the department's argument, saying there were plenty of opportunities for people in Texas to challenge the law on their own. He said the department's arguments were filled with hyperbole and inflammatory rhetoric. Wait, that's not true. Okay. U.S. conservatives have long sought to have Roe v. Wade overturned. True, the Supreme Court on December 1st. Years arguments in a separate case involving a Mississippi law that bans abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Mississippi has asked the High Court to overturn that 1973 precedent. Cool. Very nice. So they'll continue to throw everything and anything at it that will stick. To see if they can get that overturned. Governor Abbott is trying to keep from being politically bad about his own party. Yeah, I guess. Oh, I see. Democrat-sponsored Texas act would allow 10K bounties on sexual abusers who cause unwanted pregnancies. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should just go like the extra mile, right? We should just start making laws that would regulate or give people the ability to start looking for 10K bounties if men commit X, Y, or Z or whatever, however you want to regulate men's bodies, right? Cassidy's proposal instead would give, of course, I don't think this is going to pass or anything like that. It's probably just like a protest kind of a bill. The Texas law is uniquely designed, allowing private citizens to bring civil lawsuits against anyone who performs an abortion, gets an abortion, or aids in someone getting an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Opponents of the law have described a $10,000 minimum and damages up for grabs as a bounty. Basically, it is. It's deputizing these fundamentalist extremists to try to cash in on 10K. Cassidy's proposal instead would give Illinoisans the right to seek at least 10K in damages against anyone who caused an unwanted pregnancy, even if it resulted from consensual sex, or anyone who commits sexual assault or abuse, including domestic violence. Nice. Cool. If the Texas law can say anyone can be liable for 10K, and the Texas law, the Texas anti-abortion law, also doesn't give any type of exceptions for rape or incest. You know what? Yeah, if you cause an unwanted pregnancy, even if it's from consensual sex, and you know what? Pay up, pony. Like at this point in time, like maybe women. Yeah, of course, I'm kind of memeing, but kind of like the ridiculousness of it to illustrate the ridiculousness. To illustrate the ridiculousness of the Texas law, I think women in Texas should have it should require men to have a 10K bounty or a 10K how do I say this, deposit before anything happens. Women should require men to have a 10K retainer before anything happens. Just in case, because you never know. The GOP wants to be determined jerks, but the Dems and independents should be more determined. Yeah, you would think so. No way, but my rights, now I'm responsible for my actions? What? No way. If folks are policing the bodies of people who are seeking reproductive health care in Texas, well, maybe we should be policing the bodies of people who are causing those problems here in Illinois. Ah, yeah. And across the board. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Like, if we're gonna start like enacting these, and again, I don't know, like, to the extent of what the ramifications are, but like, you can't just start like doing this type of stuff and then not expect any repercussions, right? Right, I would prosecute the offender and not the victim, right, but they don't care if it's mentioned. Exactly correct. Right, you're exactly correct. But they don't care. They don't even offer, in the Texas law, they don't even offer any type of exceptions for like rape or incest. Unbelievable. Hey, here's some cool news. Here's some very normal, very cool, very healthy, very democratic news. Pipeline company paid Minnesota police for arresting and surveilling protesters. The Canadian company Enbridge has reimbursed the U.S. police $2.4 million for arresting and surveilling hundreds of protesters who oppose the construction of the Line 3 pipeline, according to documents The Guardian obtained through a public records request. Enbridge has paid for officer training, surveillance, wages, overtime, benefits, meals, hotels, and equipment. Nice. Since I guess corporations are people, and yeah, I guess yeah, this is how it works, folks. There's no conflict of interest here. There's no nothing bizarre about a corporation paying a civilian public service for police. Nothing weird about that, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Enbridge is replacing Line 3 pipeline through Minnesota to carry oil from Alberta to the tip of Lake Superior in Wisconsin. The new pipeline carries a heavy oil called bitumen, doubles the capacity of the original doubles the capacity of the original to 760,000 barrels a day, and carves a new route through pristine wetlands. A report by Climate Action Group MN350 says the expanded pipeline will emit the equivalent greenhouse gases of 50 coal power plants. The project was meant to be completed and start functioning on Friday. Police have arrested more than 900 demonstrators opposing Line 3 and its impact on climate and indigenous rights, according to the Pipeline Legal Action Network. It's common for protesters to oppose pipeline construction to face private security hired by companies, as they did during the demonstrations against the Dakota Access Pipeline. But in Minnesota, financial agreement with a foreign company has given public police forces an incentive to arrest demonstrators. The Minnesota Public Utility Commission, which regulates pipelines, decided rural police should not have to pay for increased strain from Line 3 protests. As a condition for granting Line 3 permits, the commission required Enbridge to set up an escrow account to reimburse police for responding to demonstrators. Enbridge told The Guardian an independent account manager allocates the funds and police decide when protesters are breaking the law. But records obtained by The Guardian show the company meets daily with police to discuss intelligence gatherings and patrols, and when Enbridge wants protesters removed, it calls police or sends letters. Our police are beholden to a foreign company. Cool. Nice. Nice meme. Yeah, officer training. I don't even know what that means. Just take everything aside, okay? Just take everything aside. Like, holy yikes! A private company is paying for public police. That is a massive conflict here. That is a massive problem. That is a massive problem. Hey, you guys want to see what the type of like libertarian future? You want a tiny sliver of what a libertarian future looks like, where police are everybody's going to be happy and kumbaya with all the privatization and stuff like that. Yeah, these massive companies are going to be the ones who are going to be able to afford and hire their own private police force. And this is what they'll do. It's right here. This is the libertarian utopia, or at least a tiny sliver of a glimpse of to what it looks like. And this is what is done in other countries. What do you mean? They are working hand in hand with Big Oil. They are actively working for a company. Their duty is owed to the state of Minnesota and to the tribal citizens of Minnesota. True. Yeah, they're not like employees of Enbridge, or if they want to be employees of Enbridge, then they shouldn't be public servants. It is a very clear violation of public trust. True. In July, Enbridge began drilling under the Red Lake River near Thief River Falls. The police reports that 2 to 100 demonstrators had gathered the next site for days. The Bennington County Sheriff's Office sent a request for help, and several police agencies sent officers to protect the fenced-in drill site. Hire local mercenaries to guard their assets. Right, that's the exactly Dakapoyan. The difference here, which is true, it does happen in other countries, but here's the kicker and what makes things disturbing. This isn't like, these aren't like employees like Pinkertons of Enbridge. These are public police, public servants from the state who are basically hired, who are basically at the beck and call of this company, which is the real big disturbing part of this whole thing. That's the takeaway here. It's not like Enbridge decided to go to like a third party to get like private security or their own private, mercs to pay or anything like that. No. They get the public police, municipal police, as Nakapayan posted. That's the disturbing part. That's the real big problem here. The rest is a story that we know too well. If you guys have ever followed what happened with the Dakota Access Pipeline, this is a story that's all too well known what happens. Enbridge reimbursed White County Sheriff's Office $26,886 for mileage, meals, wages, and benefits for officers who worked at the drill site. Enbridge Fund also reimbursed Anoka, Chisago, Marshall, and Clay counties for sending officers to the drill site. Osako said she overheard officers they would get overtime pay for responding on June 29th. They're excited about the piggy bank Enbridge has created for them. Cool. Hey, nice meme. Nice meme. Enbridge reimbursed Grand Rapids for $4,048.43 for the wages of 9 officers who were patrolling at Aitkin County that day. Here's another incident from 4 to 9 of June. In response to a mutual aid request, McLeod County Sheriff's Office and police to Wadena and Aitkin County for what they called Operation Safety Net. They billed their mileage, wages, and meals to Enbridge account totaling $15,000. The evening of 8th of June, McLeod County officers dined together at the Fireside Inn in Aitkin County. Detective Andrew DeMeyer had buffalo chips and a fiesta salad for $19.15. Deputy Jonathan Robin had a chicken strip basket, fries, and mozzarella for $21.35. Deputy Joshua Fahey had a half chicken with fries, $14.95. And Sergeant Bill Kroll enjoyed a bacon cheeseburger, onions, and 2 non-alcoholic beers. What? For $22.45. They build their meals to the Enbridge account. Nice. Nice. This sounds, to me, like taking... I mean, like, this is a very, very, very long-winded way of saying they're being bribed. They're being bribed with, like, chicken, fries, cheeseburgers, and buffalo chips. They're using the precedent of hiring off-duty cops to guard nightclubs and etc. Yeah, but yeah, okay, but like if they're off-duty, you can maybe say like, okay, well, they're not wearing the badge. You know, they're not on duty. They're not wearing the badge. They're not acting as a public in any public capacity. But this is way over the line. This is over the line. This is unacceptable. Here we have another. Enbridge reimbursed Beltrami County Sheriff's Office for more than $180,000 for training and equipment that officers would use that day. This included $17,510 for equipment, including ballistic helmets, and another $4,095 for shield. Enbridge reimbursed Beltrami County Sheriff's Office for $17,572 with 22 cents for police wages and overtime pay for their work that day. So in other words, they hired them. Beltrami also requested reimbursement for pepper spray batons and the manager of the escrow account wrote an email that these were not personal protective equipment and could not be reimbursed. Yeah, well, wages and food aren't personal protective equipment. You paid for those. Records obtained by The Guardian show a close working relationship between Enbridge and the police, which is the whole nature of this article. In December of 2020, Cass County Sheriff's Office began proactive safety patrols of communities along the pipeline route. Up to 6 August, the Enbridge account reimbursed the sheriff $849,163 with 40 cents for these patrols. They bought them. Nice. Gives a whole new meaning to term rent-a-cop, true. Yeah, this is deeply disturbing, folks. In case you guys wanted to take a small, just a tiny view, a tiny little window into the ideal libertarian future. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Alright, quick break, folks, and I will be right back. And I'm going to take a second to chill for myself. Folks, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, follow, to follow the stream, click the follow button. And if you guys are on the YouTubes, make sure you hit that subscribe button, do the like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help us out. Join us on the Bird app, join us on all the social media, join us on Discord, where we keep the conversation going offline. So make sure you do that. Thank you guys for your support. You guys are what makes this channel grow. I appreciate it. And my call to action to all of you, please, it costs nothing. Spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be for news and politics. We are here Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And join us for Saturday Catterdays. Spread the word far and wide, everyone. To everyone and anyone. Alright? Do us that favor. I'll be right back. Alright, folks. We continue our journey. Studies confirm waning immunity from Pfizer's COVID vaccine. Real-world studies published on Wednesday confirmed that the immune protection offered by the 2 doses drops after 2 months or so, although protection against severe disease and hospitalization and death remains strong. So I want to be clear, so before we get into what's being discussed here, the vaccine for Pfizer, at least, has been shown to provide immunity to COVID, and however, that immunity does seem to wane. But before people, because I know what's going to happen, all of what type of conspiratorial thoughts are going to start coming out because of this. Okay, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Okay, remember, the primary purpose of the vaccine from the beginning, from the get-go, was to keep people out of the hospital and was to keep people from dying. Okay? And as we see here, protection against hospitalization and death stayed at above 90%. Protection against hospitalization and death stayed at 90%, above 90%. Okay? Which is the entire purpose from the beginning of this vaccine. Doesn't waning immunity thing happen for all vaccines to varying degrees? That's also true. Yes, Silver Knight Dragon. The waning protection may also involve behavior. Vaccinated persons presumably have a higher rate of social contact than unvaccinated persons and may also have lower adherence to safety measures. This behavior could reduce the real-world effectiveness of the vaccine as compared with its biological effectiveness, possibly explaining the waning protection. It's a signal that countries should prepare for fresh surges of COVID-19. These findings suggest that a large portion of the vaccinated population could lose its protection against infection in the coming months, perhaps increasing the potential for a new epidemic wave. So, like, here's what I understand. The vaccine does actually provide immunity from actually getting the disease, the virus. But its protection against severe illness, hospitalization, and death still remain at a over 90% efficacy rate. So, TLDR, because I don't want to get too, above my head and talk about things that I know absolutely nothing about, okay? The TLDR from this article is, it seems like, please don't keep your guard down, okay? Please don't lower your guard. Please take this seriously. Please refer to the latest CDC recommendations. Please keep an eye out for that. Please keep any precautions in place. Please be mindful of these facts, and please be mindful that yes, you are if you are vaccinated, you are protected. You are protected for severe illness, hospitalization, and death. You are pretty much above 90% protected, which is great, excellent. One of the best vaccines we have developed in terms of this. The immunity, however, in other words, you could still get breakthrough infections and stuff like that, are a possibility. Please keep this in mind. Please take proper precautions. Please refer to the experts. And please have common sense. Okay? The CDC has recommended that people older than 65, people with conditions making them more susceptible to getting seriously ill with breakthrough infections, and people at high risk of infection such as healthcare workers and prison inmates should get boosters. This is approved by the FDA. After 6 months after you take the second dose for Pfizer. This only applies to Pfizer. Okay? So please also keep that in mind if you are falling under any of these limited categories, such as if you're more susceptible to getting seriously ill, if you are above 65 and older, or if you're at high risk of infection, such as healthcare workers or prison inmates, that would make sense to get the booster that was approved by the FDA. Again, please exercise common sense. If you are vaccinated, please also keep this in mind, and please also take precautions, as we can help prevent that from being as bad as it's being here. Okay? Please exercise common sense. Please refer to the latest CDC guidelines. And also, as a just kind of disclaimer, call to action, please do not take medical advice from Facebook groups or any social media groups or anything that is not through official or, the experts, right? Please. Please, 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 please. Facebook is not a source for medical information. Okay? These things have real world consequences. Okay? These things have real world consequences, as we'll see right now. Okay? So TLDR, I just wanted to bring this up before all of these conspiracies are going to show up like, see, we told you the vaccine doesn't work. No, hold on. Relax. Because I know that this is what's going to be spread around social media. The vaccine's very much doing what it's supposed to be doing. For those of you that have not gotten vaccinated, I highly recommend that you do so. If you're eligible, if you're 12 years up and 12 years and older, and are eligible for the vaccine, it's free, it's available. Please do the right thing. If you're vaxxed, your immune system has a template for antibodies. It just takes longer for your body to make them by itself. If there's no catalyst like an active vaccine, spring your body to create them. Yep, that's how it works. True. True. So just to be clear, the antibodies aren't there forever. Okay. So just to be clear, and just to understand how immunity, or how your immune system response works, it's more like you get the template. Your antibodies stored that template, so if it ever does, and it's stored in like what you can consider memory cells, in memory. So if and when it does come into contact with the real thing, it knows what to do. That's basically how it is. I know it's very simplified, but that's how it works. It's Bio 101, folks. I play CDC videos on my stream. It's boring, but it helps. True. Yeah, no one watches CDC videos to be entertained. It's to inform, and I appreciate that, Alio. I appreciate that. Folks, this is why it's required, or I think necessary, to have a responsibility into what you post on social media. You can help by making sure that whenever you decide to make a post, please be aware that things have ripple effects, okay? Please be aware that what you post matters, okay? Please post responsibly, because these things have ripple effects and real world consequences. Maryland man fatally shoots his pharmacist brother for killing people with the COVID vaccine. A Cumberland man allegedly killed his brother and sister-in-law in their Ellicott City home last week because his brother, a pharmacist, administers COVID vaccines, according to charging documents filed Wednesday in a Howard County court. Yeah, this I'm not gonna name this guy. Told his mother he had to confront his brother Brian Robinette because he was poisoning people by administering the COVID vaccine. He's currently being held without bond in Allegheny County, where he's charged with stabbing Rebecca Reynolds, 83, to death. Police said he took her car and fled to Ellicott City, where a day later he killed Robinette and his wife. He faces first and second degree charges in the couple's death. And I wonder where someone like this could get this idea. Again, these things have real life consequences, okay? What you post matters. Please don't contribute to the already massive misinformation and things like that. Please, 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 when you post things, please understand, or when you view things on Facebook, or when you view things on Twitter, when you view things online, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitch, whether it be Facebook, please take a second, review what the person is saying and why they're saying it. Okay? Why is this person advocating for it? Does this even make sense? Does it pass the sniff test? Have a critical thinking mindset and media analysis when you read things on Facebook. Or watch a YouTube video, or watch your internet bobblehead such as myself, okay? Please, whatever you see on the screen, take a second and take a second to critically analyze what this person is telling you, why they're telling it to you, and where are they getting this information, okay? Unlike what the folks at, unlike what the conspiratorial TikTok is saying, where thousands and thousands and thousands of people are dying from the vaccine, it's just not true, okay? It's just not true. Didn't happen. I think a lot of these, conspiratorial, like, these conspiracies are coming from, like, a plucked out data set, and they failed to make the connection between causation. They failed to make the connection, which is why I urge people to have critical thinking, right? So if you see, like, for example, oh, person X had this adverse reaction. Why? Oh, well, they posted on, like, for example, VAERS. Well, that's a self-report system, okay? How do you know that that was confirmed? How do you know that that was confirmed? You don't. You don't. That's right, Tucky. Tucky and other alt media who continue to just ask questions are part of the problem. You are not a bobblehead, you're selling your version of it. Yeah, well, no, I am an internet bobblehead. I am an internet bobblehead. The difference is, I acknowledge that I'm an internet bobblehead, and I acknowledge that I'm an internet bobblehead, and I acknowledge that maybe it's a possibility that I could be wrong, and I try to make sure that what I say is backed up by some type of, feet planted in reality, right? That's the difference. I acknowledge that I'm a bobblehead. I acknowledge that I have biases in myself. The difference is I try to, A, be forthcoming about it. B, I try to make sense of things using data from the real world, okay? I try to plant my feet in reality. I do my best to do that. Divide and conquer? Effing family isn't even close anymore in America for so many? I don't know what that means. Anyways, the TLDR is that this kind of stuff does have real life consequences, okay? Okay, these things have real life consequences, and I urge people to please be responsible. Please have common sense. Please have critical thinking. To apply critical thinking when looking at stuff presented to you, right? When looking at stuff presented to you from social media, from YouTube, from wherever, please, when you see claims that sound a little bit off, just check it out, okay? When you decide, or when you see something so outrageous and you're like, oh man, I gotta post this, hold on. Check it first before you post things, please. I mean, this garbage to trick people, huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, if you want the official CDC channel or more information, don't listen to me. Well, yeah, I mean, it's misinformation. It's designed to trick people by definition, right? Senate Judiciary Committee issues sweeping report detailing how Trump and the top DOJ lawyer attempted to overturn the 2020 election. Well, look no further than the umpteenth time we have seen audits after audits after audits after case after case after case. This isn't like a secret necessarily. It's not necessarily a secret, is it? What was that? Very, very normal phone call. Very, very nice, very cool, very normal phone call. Find me 11,000 votes. I believe that was in Georgia. So yeah, real life consequences, please be responsible. Senate Democrats accept McConnell's offer on short-term debt ceiling extension. Senate Democrats signaled that they will accept Minority Leaders Mitch McConnell's offer for a short-term extension of the debt limit, multiple senators told reporters after a caucus meeting on Thursday. I think we'll end up raising the debt ceiling through December, and it gives us the next 2 months to focus on the big Build Back Better agenda. We will see. Other Democratic senators say that while the short-term solution was acceptable, the party would not unilaterally raise the debt ceiling via budget reconciliation for the long term. We're going to raise the debt ceiling, we're going to go on and pass infrastructure, said Tammy Duckworth. We're never going to do it through reconciliation. Oh, okay. Senator Chris Murphy echoed those comments, saying Democrats would accept the short-term deal but would not use reconciliation as a way to raise the debt limit. We made it clear we're not going through reconciliation. We're not going to do it through reconciliation. It is a long-term disaster, so it's up to the Republicans. Ah, yes. Flawless logic. Thanks for the follow, CJ. Appreciate that. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned on Tuesday that the U.S. would default on its obligations by October 18th if the debt limit is not raised, likely causing a recession in an interview with CNBC Squawk Box. Democrats are simultaneously trying to pass $1 trillion infrastructure bill and a potential $3.5 trillion social spending package. Huh. Wait. Wait. Did you guys catch that? Hmm. Who wrote this article? Ah. Yeah. Do you see what I mean about having critical thinking and critical media analysis? Do you see how you can kind of catch the language in between the lines, the article of what it's saying, why it's saying it, how it's saying it? You guys see, like, this is a perfect illustration live in 4K. Live in 4K, chat, of how you should be critical when you read whatever is presented in front of you. Live in 4K, real life demonstration. Didn't even intend to. So no, the 3.5 trillion is not just a social spending package, because that's trying to elicit an emotional response. No, it's not just that. It is a revamped also in addition to. So it does have plenty of other stuff. It is not just a social spending package. So everything that the government does would technically be a social spending package. Like, what does that mean? Anything that the government does is social spending. Like that's okay. McConnell and Senate Republicans have for months refused to support the raising the debt ceiling due to their opposition to new government spending by Democrats, even though they had no problems. They had no problems doing that when they were in power. Hold on, let me get the quote from Mitch McConnell himself. Hold on, I can find it. Oh, don't tell me I deleted it. Ah, here we are. Mitch McConnell, 2019. Quote, "We are raising the debt ceiling because America can't default." 2021, Mitch McConnell. "Republicans are united in the opposition to raise the debt ceiling." Nice meme. However, McConnell on Wednesday said that Republicans would be willing to allow Democrats to use normal procedure to pass an emergency debt limit extension at a fixed dollar amount to cover current spending levels. McConnell was reported concerned that Democrats could pressure moderate senators, conservative senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to suspend the filibuster in order for the party to raise the debt ceiling, according to CNN. So, like, yeah, I think that we are one of the few major countries that have a debt ceiling period. I think that it is used, as clearly demonstrated by McConnell himself, it is used as a political football. That's the game. And it decreases our ability. It decreases the functionality and ability of government to do its job. And I think that there is a argument to make sure that that's just done away with. And just to be clear, something that continuously gets left out, this $3.5 trillion plan, Build Back Better plan, is over 10 years, folks. Okay? Something that they conveniently left out is that this Build Back Better plan is over a time period of 10 years. 3.5 trillion over a 10-year period. Alright, folks, shifting gears to get to the nitty-gritty. slashing the military budget in half would pay for it and then some. Also, good morning. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, I mean, like, what is... I know I asked this yesterday, but for all... to illustrate the point, to drive the point home again, what is 700 and something billion dollars times 10 again? 700 and something billion dollars times 10. Because that's 10 years, right? It's about 9 trillion. It's about 9 trillion, okay? About a third of what the Build Back Better plan would cost, okay? Overall, estimated would be a mere couple percentage points of what the US does, so in terms of the budget. So, like, you know what? They use these scary, like, numbers because rhetorically, you hear the words $3.5 trillion, and everyone's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. But notice how all of these articles that we read, and every time we reference the 3.5 trillion price tag, it never, ever, ever, ever follows up with over the course of 10 years. And that is a failure across the board on the media. That is a failure across the board over the media. But, you know, okie dokie. Yeah, the only mention of 10 years. The only mention of this 10 years here, can somebody bring that up for me? And they always have to add a new spending when they talk about it so they can clutch their pearls about the debt. True. Can somebody like find me the exact place where it mentions that this is over 10 years? Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay, so Jesus Christ, you have to really scroll down. This is why it's so frustrating sometimes with the media. My goodness, you have to like literally scroll down to the middle, and it's there, but you have to like find it. And now I lost it. Here we are. The 10-year Build Back Better Act would fund everything from free community college to expanded Medicare. Sorry about that. It took me a second. But yeah, you have to scroll for it and you have to find it. But it's there. 10 years. 3.5 trillion over 10 years, folks. Yeah, so anytime, next time they, like, anybody tries to bring up, like, oh, well, we need to be more fiscally responsible. Well, then, okay, so the military budget is 9 trillion a year over the 10 years, over the exact same time period of the Build Back Better plan. So I think that in the name of fiscal responsibility, I think that we could probably cut a little bit of that and actually reinvest and reorganize our priorities into things that will actually help American people. If we want to start curl clutching. So just a quick TLDR. What's in the Build Back Better? 2 free years of community college, childcare, universal pre-K, excellent Medicare expansion, should be from, but just saying. Extended child tax credits were wildly successful. Cut prescription drug prices, huge. Paid family and medical leave. Unbelievable that in 2021 this country still doesn't have that guaranteed. Of course, climate change, some type of climate change initiatives, which include clean electricity performance, which would pay utility companies that increase their renewable energy supplies by 4% per year, which, of course, President Joe Manchin has objected to. This also provides significant funding for forest management and wildfire control measures. There are also incentivizations for buying electric vehicles, construction of charging stations, consumer rebates to homeowners who weatherfit their houses, and financial penalties for oil and gas producers for methane leaks, among other things. Jesus. So in other words, it is about as milquetoast as it gets when it comes to addressing the climate crisis. It is literally the most around the edge thing you could possibly propose. And President Joe Manchin has taken up to object to this. Unbelievable. Anyways, so yeah, the point is, sorry for that small tangent, is to A, illustrate that I do check my sources, and B, I try to tell what exactly is going on as it is. It's just like, and we got to see the debt ceiling debate live in 4K as to why you should always check your sources, why you should always realize who's writing this, what language is being used, what is being invoked here in these articles. Sure enough, we found it. So yeah, that's the whole point of this. Unbelievable. Alright folks, this is important. Time for the nitty-gritty stuff. Over 2 feet of rain fell in Italy in over half a day, something not seen in Europe before. Except, it's going to possibly be things that are just the new norm. As we saw in the IPCC report, things like this, unusual precipitation rates in areas that are not really used to this are going to experience this as like a new norm. So yeah, just more emphasis on why we need to really pay attention to this and why we really need to address climate change ASAP. Extreme climate-fueled rain broke records this week as part of Italy, known for its rain, an area in Oman not known for rain at all. Extreme climate-fueled rainfall broke records this week in a part of Italy known for its rain and in an area in Oman not known for rain at all. On Monday, a series of storms put on the parking brakes over northwestern Italy, unleashing rainfall rates never before seen at all in all of Europe. After over 29 inches of rain fell in just 12 hours. In Oman, a rare tropical cyclone dumped years' worth of rainfall, bringing deadly floods to the desert landscape that rarely sees much rain in an entire year. Yes, we went over that as well. Italy's Genoa province, known for its natural beauty and rugged coastline, became the epicenter for the most recent extreme rains. A series of slow-moving storms stalled in the region Sunday into Monday, dumping over 36 inches of rain in the town of Rossiglione, about 60 miles southwest of Milan. For some context, 36 inches is roughly the equivalent to the average rainfall one would expect in Seattle in a year. It would take London an average of 15 months to tally such a rainfall. Dozens had to be rescued after reports of mudslides and flooding dotted the landscape, leading to a bridge to collapse in the town of Chigliano, according to Milan news outlet Corriere della Sera. So, Courier of Sera area? I don't know. Hey Stupka, how's it going? Howdy howdy. We got jack shit for rain this summer in Minnesota. I finally stopped getting shit for having a natural lawn because my lawn was the only one that wasn't dead from the drought. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, as climate change progresses, you'll see things like this where unusual weather patterns become the norm. Heavier droughts become the norm. Extreme rainfall becomes the norm. Wet weather is not uncommon for this part of Italy as the region averages over 50 inches of rain per year. However, the storm dropped nearly 30 inches in just 12 hours, setting a new European mark for the highest 12-hour rainfall on record, according to climatologist and extreme weather expert Maximiliano Herrera. Herrera? I guess? In the nearby town of Cairo Montenotte, about 20 miles west of Resiglione, weather records continued to fall by the wayside on Monday. A 6-hour deluge unlike any ever observed in Italy brought nearly 20 inches of rainfall, besting the national 6-hour record for all of Italy. Yeah. And this is more pictures of tropical or of Cyclone Shaheen in Oman, which is unprecedented. Period. Unprecedented. Period. Alright folks, we got time for this one video. I think we may have watched this. But I think that this is important.
This video was made possible by the people who support me on Patreon. In December of 1924, the heads of all the major light bulb manufacturers across the world met in Geneva to concoct a sinister plan. Their talks outlined limits on how long all of their light bulbs would last. The idea being that if their bulbs failed quickly, customers would have to buy more of their product. In this video, we're going to unpack this idea of purposefully creating inferior products to drive.
Ding 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 ding. That's right, Stuka. Yeah, the Oman flood was crazy, wasn't it? 13 inches when they normally get like 0.3. Yeah, it was unprecedented for sure, Dustin. Unprecedented. You are absolutely correct.
Drive sales, a symptom of late-stage capitalism that has since been coined planned obsolescence. And as we'll see, this obsolescence can have drastic consequences on our wallets, waste streams, and even our climate. Corporations create obsolescence through two main avenues: planned obsolescence and perceived obsolescence. Both practices are meant to make a product seem useless or actually useless in order to drive sales. Planned obsolescence occurs
so
when
just to be clear, folks, understand that this is heavily swung. Okay, this is like borderline like agitprop. So understand that there are this is being put on a point of view of this type, right? This is a very this is geared towards evoking a certain emotion. However, the underlying concepts of planned obsolescence and the underlying concepts behind the video are absolutely correct.
company manufactures a device to fail before its realistic lifespan. This usually means a weaker filament, plastic encasement, or a fragile glass screen that limits the durability of the good. In the case of the collection of 1920s electricity companies known as the Phoebus Cartel, they applied this principle to light bulbs. The Phoebus Cartel collectively cut the lifespan of their products in half, from 2,000 to 1,000 hours, so that customers would have to buy twice the amount of light bulbs that they did previously. On the other side of obsolescence, there's the more amorphous phenomenon of perceived obsolescence.
Introducing the return of a legend. The all-new Bronco two-door.
Think of that new
Bronco
phony bot,
two-door.
or that new style of clothes you've been eyeing, or even this year's new line of pickup trucks. All these are instances of perceived obsolescence. When companies release their new line of products, their older products quickly become unfashionable or less desirable. In order to get you to keep buying their goods, corporations consistently market their new lines in order to make it seem like that new gadget you just bought a year ago is an antique, even though in most cases, the older product still works. This kind of perceived obsolescence is especially prevalent with cars, technology, and fashion, because these consumer goods have been transformed into status symbols.
Yes, Duca, that is like the way that Apple operates and the way that Apple conducts itself when it comes to planned obsolescence, or using their terminology, perceived obsolescence, where you need the latest iPhone, and oh, and by the way, you don't have access to the headphone jack, you have to buy this new dongle, and you have to buy this, and you have to or you can buy the new one and get yourself some new X, Y, or Z. So yeah, I completely see that, Stuka. I'm still wearing the same underwear I bought 10 years ago, suck it. True. Last month, I finally replaced the way too high to reach garage lights with super bright LEDs that I'll never have to replace again. Nice. Nice. These are individual choices that you can do, folks. These are individual choices that you can do that do have an impact.
So if you want to keep up appearances, you grab that newest model of the iPhone. If you want to look good, you buy the latest style from that Instagram ad. But how and why does planned and perceived obsolescence work on us?
Thank you for coming on such short notice. Miss Grace says you're the best. I found the body in a trunk in the attic.
Whoa.
It belonged to an actress who disappeared in 1930.
Sorry about that.
As we've just seen, modern obsolescence comes in various forms. From brittle parts that break easily, to glued-in batteries that you can't replace, to aesthetic upgrades that take the previous version out of fashion. And it seems the master of all these methods is Apple.
And we are calling it iPhone.
It's one of the top 3 phone producers in the world, as well as the most valuable company globally. In part, the tech giant's market dominance was created by, and now allows for, Apple to employ an environmentally dangerous combination of perceived and planned obsolescence that leaves consumers buying a brand new iPhone every 2 or 3 years. For the iPhone, it all starts with the battery. After about 2 to 3 years of peak performance, the iPhone battery begins to wear out. But if you want to change the battery, it's not as simple as popping the back of the phone off and sliding in a replacement. Depending on the version of the iPhone, you'll need special screwdrivers, adhesive removers, suction cups, and possibly even a soldering gun just to replace your rundown battery. In an interview with the team at the popular DIY tech website iFixit, they call the iPhone battery a
premature death clock that they're building into it by building in a consumable is designed to increase the number of iPhones Apple sells by making them last less long.
Apple's normalization of the built-in battery, which before the age of the iPhone was rarely seen in cell phones, nudges customers into buying new rather than struggling to replace the battery. And if you do want Apple to fix the battery or some other damage in your device, you'll have to cough up a lot of cash.
Yep.
Sometimes up to 50 to 70% of the phone's original cost. This is because you can't just take your iPhone to any old repair shop. Only Apple stores and Apple certified repair locations are allowed to fix iPhones.
Which is
So
which is how the whole right to repair thing comes into play. I don't throw them out until half the spandex is disconnected from the briefs. Yeah, I mean, like, these are exactly saving the environment one raggedy pair of underwear at a time. No, but these individual choices, or the mindset, the mentality of trying to reduce the consumption, is the right mentality. I appreciate that. This happens in rechargeable products. The products are engineered to expire early with timing chips. Yes. Yes. I believe so, Fifth Dimension.
Repair is high, and the newest model of the iPhone has just been released. It's difficult not to splurge on that new device. This is, yet again, another barrier towards reusing your phone, reducing consumption, and ultimately minimizing your environmental impact. And finally, Apple's warranty only covers your freshly purchased iPhone for 1 year, which is well before the 2 to 3 year range when Apple's hardware typically begins to fail. The point here is this: none of these practices are necessary for the production or sale of Apple's products. Apple intentionally chooses to build this waste into their product design and business plan because these steps are necessary to make Apple into a tech giant and capitalist behemoth.
Oh, and if that doesn't work on you, they start doing updates after X amount of time.
Indeed, Apple just comes out and admits how long they expect their devices to last. 7 years. After 7 years, their products, in their words, become obsolete. But wait, Charlie, isn't 7 years kind of a long time for a phone or computer to last? It may sound like a long time now, but prior to the advent of this iPhone paradigm, spending $1,000 on a product that will be obsolete in 7 years at most would have felt completely unreasonable. Many of us are so surrounded by planned and perceived obsolescence that we have been primed to think that owning a single device for 7 years...
Yeah. Oh, perfect example. Perfect example here. My girlfriend's computer is like just reaching 8 to 9 years, and you know what? That computer boots up in seconds. That computer is flawless, in my opinion, and it works wonderfully. It's like one of the rare examples of how you can like have something for almost 10 years and it still works fine. There's like unironically nothing wrong with it. But you know, things can be replaced in that computer. You can take it out, you can replace the SSD, you can replace RAM, you can add RAM, but that's a difference. That's different.
Is actually a long time. And even if their phones do last the full 7 years, Apple creates perceived obsolescence by consistently marketing their phones through aesthetics, lifestyle, and status. Even that green bubble in iMessage seems to be telling us that other phones are somehow worse.
Right?
So at the
Remember
end of
when
the
that
day,
was a
if
thing when
did
Apple came
genuinely
out?
want you to continue using
When that
your
new
phone,
thing came out?
then they would offer longer warranties or create more durable, easily repairable tech. Because once you've captured the market like they have, obsolescence becomes pretty damn profitable. Apple,
They're mostly
however,
great,
is
but you
just
might want
one
to swap
of
out
many
new hard drives.
examples
Yeah,
of
exactly.
obsolescence in
And
capitalism.
hers came with an SSD, which is perfect. You just replace that and it's good to go.
There's Epson's proprietary ink cartridges, barely modified new editions of school textbooks, and even
Yep.
Tesla seems primed to be next, with its reluctance to allow independent auto repair shops to service their cars, a move remarkably similar to that of Apple and its own repair shops. Both this kind of planned and perceived obsolescence lead to that pile of perfectly operable phones in your desk drawer, as well as fuel the 50 million metric tons of e-waste created each year. These
Jesus.
corporate practices make our quest to embrace climate-aligned actions such as reusing and reducing consumption much harder. In short, manufactured obsolescence fuels consumerism and environmental degradation in an already over-consuming world. So if it's clearly a terrible scheme for our wallets, well-being, and the environment, how do we stop it?
Hey, PFSD. Yeah, that's why you use SSD.
Luckily, there are a variety of short-term and long-term solutions for getting rid of planned obsolescence. On an individual level, simply taking the time to repair, take care, and reuse your possessions is a great first step. But as we've just seen, companies have a vested interest in making that as hard as possible, both through the durability of their product and by influencing your mindset through advertising. Which means that right to repair campaigns and court cases like these
The tech giant is facing multiple lawsuits after it admitted that it slows down older models.
are essential to easing the unnecessary burden on the consumer. But if we zoom out further, companies like Apple have to be forced to change how they do business. France already has planned obsolescence laws, and companies like Fairphone show that it is actually possible to make a longer-lasting phone that is easy to repair. The battery on the Fairphone only takes about 8 minutes to replace. But ultimately, obsolescence is a symptom of late-stage capitalism. So if we want to create a world in which durable, sustainable products are the norm, we have to embrace a new mindset and build a new economic system that at every stage in the process asks, does it actively contribute to humans and nature thriving together as one integrated system on this planet? If yes, green light. If not, red light. Period. If all this sounds hard or impossible, science tells us there can be no other way. Since the early 80s, we've known that global temperatures will rise if left unchecked. And yet, we've made very little progress since then. So the world, and for that matter, our
Well, that part
economy,
is true.
needs to change. And eliminating planned obsolescence is just one step on the path to a more just, more sustainable economic system. Hey everyone, Charlie here. If you
Yeah, so I think the TLDR is like planned obsolescence is so toxic and so bad in a multitude of ways. Not just like when you talk about economics, but when you talk about the environment, all the waste, and it's just really not necessary. Microsoft tried to do that with Windows 11, mandating a security chip in the processor, but they just realized relatively few people upgrade to use Windows 11, so they'll just release a workaround for the security chip so people will use the OS. Nice. I read that a lot of people are going to get really mad because the new PCs that are coming out that are stock, that come stock with Windows 11 have that what you're talking about is decreasing their ability to for gaming. So a lot of people are just like not gonna do it because it decreases your gaming capabilities. So once again, gamers rising up. So people are gamers are mad because it will reduce your capabilities of game by 20 something percent. But yeah, so it's just like the audacity that these companies have just because they've been allowed to get so big and unchecked is really what fuels this kind of stuff, right? And it does have ramifications for the environment. And it does have ramifications for the environment. Yeah, clothing and shoes are also nowhere near used until worn out. Yeah, like I agree 100%. As long as you're anything that you are able to do as an individual, when you make choices like this, when you try to you know, keep upkeep and maintenance on your products and try to be aware of these things, anything that you can do as an individual does help. Okay, you have the ability to make these kind of choices, and you also should be paying attention to the types of legislation from anywhere from local, state, and federal legislation, or be aware of who your representatives are to try to support legislation that will help these kind of things. Be aware of what type of lawsuits are. Again, get familiar with your local, state, and federal governments, and be you know, be aware of what type of legislation, because at the end of the day, it is going to require solving climate change, or at least making any type of headway, is going to require political will. Okay, political will. It's going to require political will, and you know what? It's up to us. However, on the individual level, there are choices that we can make as individuals to try to do better. You know. Oh, that being said, so I inadvertently discovered. Really quickly, story time, folks. So I inadvertently discovered completely plant-based corn dogs, like little corn dog snacks that taste really good, in my opinion, especially if you bake them. I'm sure they taste better if you bake them. And I highly recommend it, okay? Wait, let me see if I can find it actually. Here we are. These things taste really good, okay? If you're interested, Field Roast is the brand. Field Roast. There should be loads of jobs for reworking older products to save resources. There's a thought. There is a thought. Alright folks, unfortunately it is getting about that time. It will be 11:25 in a few moments, so I do have to start heading out. I do appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. You guys are what makes this channel grow. Without you guys, we can't do this. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for the new follows. Thank you, Alio with the 5 biddies. Thank you, Danabal for the 10 biddies. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow, yeah baby. All the new follows. Kind of a catch-22 with the obsolescence thing. Every company that is doing it is reinvesting the money into lawmakers that will allow them to continue doing it. Yeah, exactly. So it is going to require a level of political will, and that's up to us. You also have the massive water and resource use to produce things, and yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Have a good weekend. See you at Saturday. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, folks. I've been getting Impossible Burgers from every place that offers something. About a dozen places. I'm down to 2 places that don't have it. Nice. Yeah, like I said, these type of individual choices are good. Thank you. You have a good one. I appreciate that. Folks, as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. Guys, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to follow. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to join us on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And join us Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time for news and politics. And Saturdays for Saturday Catterdays, as Elio just mentioned. As always, stay safe. Take care of each other. I love y'all and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya. Alright, folks. Let's head on over to Bleep Blop Ben, alright? Hang tight with us. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Thank you for the follow, handsome swordsman. I appreciate that. Thank you.